time for reflection as it's straight on to Indianapolis for the US Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel takes the place of Robert Kubica following his horrific accident in Canada. Incredibly, he only suffered bruising and a sprained ankle, but he was ordered to rest.
Have you seen the accident on TV?
Well, yeah, I have seen it also live when I was there, but also Scott has good position to look at that. I saw some pictures. No, but I saw it because for me, as Jarno came to the hospital, was also important to understand what's happened and why suddenly I have no control from the car. And apparently it was the front wing when we touched, which went under the car and lift my car up, and I couldn't steer anymore, so that's why I went off.
Hi, I'm Lewis Hamilton, and I'm here now trying to take you through the lap of Indianapolis. It was my second pole position, which I was battling with Fernando Alonso. So here we'll come across the start-finish line, trying to be as smooth as possible and making sure I had to pull away from the wall because supposedly it makes a big difference to the aerodynamics. Here braking at the just after the 100 meter sign and trying to come off the brakes and run some speed, and I did make a small mistake, carrying lots of speed into turn 2, making sure you get a very good exit because where you can lose time. Here's a bit tough, you can brake too late and miss the apex, but I managed to get the car stopped, get a good exit, good traction to the new tyres. Into this corner, it's quite tricky, you need to come in, you do get a bit of understeer, but then on the power again, not too wide on the exit. And then this corner you have to make sure you get a perfect exit because it's such a long straight, that's where the earlier you get the power, the better. And into this next corner here, I did have a small lock up, but you got to use all the road, as you can see, I'm nearly on the grass, but this last section is a bit strange. You've got very low grip, very low downforce, but the grip is good because of the new tyres, but I managed to get a very good exit there. Not to brake too late into this corner, carry the speed in and make sure you get a good exit again, because the earlier you get to power, the faster you'll be down the whole straight. So I'm gaining time all the time here. And through this last bank corner, you've got to try to turn as little as possible. So, really, sometimes I nearly hit the wall, but, that's because I'm just doing as minimal turning as possible. And as you come through the line, the team come on the radio and say you've got pole, so I was extremely happy. And now this time is you have to come off the power and try to save as much fuel for the race. So it was a very good lap, very emotional.
The crowds are ready for some serious F1 action at the historic Motor Speedway. Sebastian Vettel is an impressive P7, but he won't want to run into Kovalainen before the race starts. With both drivers on the front row, only a win will do for McLaren. The leaders are away cleanly, but there's some battling at the back. Davidson tries to make up places from 16th and gets a good view of how to lose them. Ralph locks up and slams into Coulthard and Barrichello, leaving plenty of cars off the track. Hamilton leads and his biggest rival is right up behind him. Massa is third, then it's Heidfeld, Kovalainen and Raikkonen. Let's hope Ralph doesn't get paid per lap. Barrichello got caught up in the first corner melee and drags his wreckage home. Fisichella is 8th, but he loses the rear and finds himself in the gravel. Luckily, he gets back out of it, but he's way down the order. Fisichella's fight back has begun. He's already after Button's 16th place. All the way down the straight. And he's done it. Sato avoided the first corner madness, but needs to make up some time. He isn't as lucky as Fisichella, though. The cars are starting to spread out. The McLarens lead Massa and Heidfeld, then there's quite a gap to the battling Finns of Kovalainen and Raikkonen. Heidfeld makes it easier for them to catch up when he goes off at turn 1. He takes a detour, but as he struggles for a gear, he's easy prey for Heikki and under pressure from Kimi. Heidfeld's slip-up gave Kovalainen some breathing space, but Raikkonen hopes his pit stop can change that. Kovalainen stayed out longer, and he was leading the race before this stop. Can he maintain his lead over compatriot Kimi? Raikkonen disposes of Heidfeld. In fact, he's got the better of both of them. But Heikki isn't going to sit back and accept it. Alonso isn't a man for compromises either. Hamilton's tyres are graining in this second stint, and Alonso is right up behind him. He even tries to force his way through, but Hamilton is not fazed. They won't jeopardise their 1-2 positions. Alonso has pitted, now Hamilton is in. Every second counts, he's not going to give any time to his teammate. Alonso has been pushing hard, but to no avail. Hamilton retains the lead. But it's been a bad day for Heidfeld. He retires from 7th with a hydraulic leak. The race may be in its closing stages, but Raikkonen is chasing Massa for the final podium position. Felipe is on the hard tyres while Kimi is on the softs. Can it make a difference? Webber and Trulli have been scrapping for most of the race. They may only be 7th and 8th, but Mark desperately wants that extra point. He won't get it cutting corners though. He has to let Trulli through, but he'd better watch out for new boy Vettel. Rosberg's one-stop strategy looks set to pay off. He was running 6th, but an oil leak ruins his chances with only a few laps remaining. It's only 1 week since his debut Formula 1 win, and it just keeps getting better and better for Lewis Hamilton. He's dominated North America with 2 wins in 2 races, with Alonso not far behind. It's another good result for Kovalainen. Webber scores his first points of the year, while Vettel finished his first Grand Prix 8th. McLaren may not employ team orders, but team spirit may be strained after this race.
Ron was very adamant during that race. He let you and Fernando fight fair and square, despite some a request from Fernando, so probably worth giving him a big thank you when he finished.
Seeing 2 top drivers pitted head-to-head at Indianapolis is exactly what the crowds want. Even music producer Pharrell showed up to see Hamilton increase his lead at the top. McLaren's reliability is certainly paying off. Heidfeld is a strong 5th, while Kovalainen leaps ahead of Wirtz and is closing on his teammate Fisichella. In the Constructors, McLaren extend their lead over Ferrari, while Renault close the gap on BMW Sauber. Honda are one of 3 teams yet to score. How important is the support of the fans to the race winner?
It's great to see that there's a big crowd here, and they're all very, very supportive. A lot of British flags out there, which is fantastic for me. I get a lot of energy from that. But the last few laps were, it just seemed to be very long. You know, they came across the radio and said 15 laps, and I was like, okay. And then 15 laps just seemed a lifetime, especially when you're out in the lead, trying to maintain it, not to push too hard, not to damage the car.
But as Formula One returns to Europe, will McLaren still be the favourites?